All right, we're gonna tour the lighthouse today. So we're here, and again, this is chicken approved. So as you come in, there's a gift shop area through here and a little museum that has all classifications of Fresnel lenses, which are really, really cool. They're Fresnel lens. But we're gonna go in and try to get a nice walk-up video of the interior of the lighthouse. There's a nice little gift shop in here. Here's the gift shop.
Come back down, go over onto the porch of the cottage and wait for him, and then go into the machine together. Actually, probably the best thing to do is just to walk a few steps to get into the lighthouse, look up, and maybe then decide that. Okay.
Once you pay at the gift shop, they'll give you a small brief guided information about going to the lighthouse and then going over for the tour of the cottage buildings. This young lady here, tell me your name?
Suzanne.
Suzanne will help you very kindly. And then I have a treat because there's a man named Andy who's out here that we're going to talk to again. Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome.
So as you come in this room here, you have all the displays, and that is a first order Fresnel lens right there. There's only a handful of these in existence in the world. And the man who created this, his name was Fresnel. He was an engineer who did marine science safety, and he wanted to have people have safe passages along shorelines. This is when navigation was under sail and steam. And then you have this lens. So he figured out a way of bending light into prisms to intensify the light, to travel, depending on the height of the lighthouse, at least 20 miles. If you have a 200-foot tall lighthouse, the Fresnel lens should travel approximately 20 miles to the edge of the horizon line. And in North Carolina, Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is the tallest lighthouse in North Carolina. This lighthouse is not as tall as that, and which is going to be good for my cardio. And then we're going to exit out this door. So we're coming out here, and we're looking around. And then you can see the oil room. We'll go take a look at that. So this is where the vats of, this might be the freshwater holding tank room. Let's see what this says. No, it says oil house. So this is where the oil would be, and they would actually hand carry this. What's very interesting about the Key West Lighthouse is the male keeper died, and his wife and her sons became the first female light keeper in all the United States. And she stayed here with her sons because at that time this was an island, and she and her sons were already well trained in the art of light keeping. So this lighthouse actually had 2 female light keepers, and I can show you the sign over there. Once you tour the lighthouse, you can go into the duplex home where the 2 families would have occupied. So now we're going to come up to the entrance of the lighthouse, and I'll give you a pan up to the top. So that's where we're headed today. A few small steps getting in. This obviously is not accessible for people with huge mobility limitations or people in wheelchairs, but I will give you a video tour narration. So if you have the need or the want, you can look at my video tour narration. And I'm going up. Winding staircase. I haven't started counting the steps, but to the railing side, it's pretty wide. They are metal steps with some tread on them. First landing. We're going to stop and take a breath. These are narrower in width, but the step is wider left to right. All right, up again. And we're coming up to the lamp room. We'll come out to the first platform and we'll take a 360 view of Key West. And as we approach the north side of the lighthouse, you can see the roof structure of the Hemingway house, which is right across the street. And that's where my wife is currently. Okay, we're gonna go up. So that would be the way up to the lamp room. Try to show you that. I just want to watch my step. So you just come up to the observation level. You cannot go up all the way to the very top. So this is the winch system that the oil buckets, they could winch them up to the top here. And if you look down, that is the oil house right there. So they didn't have to carry the oil buckets up through the spiral staircase. So Mallory Square is there, Duval Street, the harbor is over there. I'll give you one more 360 tour and then we'll walk down. And then the Naval Air Station is over here. Fort Zachary Taylor is over that way. And then the southernmost point for the public is this way. But the actual southernmost point is on the military reservation or base. So if you have a military ID, you can access that point. You see a storm front coming in. So very ingenious. down. Just being very careful. I'll angle this so you get a better perspective. And we're going to stop at this porthole. Give you a view out the porthole. We're continuing to walk down. See how steep it is. The observation deck was wet, so that's translated into my shoes. So just be very careful when you're coming down the steps. I'm going to change hand position. All right. Just taking my time, I don't want to slip.
Sorry.
It's okay. So you just have to squeeze a little tight when you're going down or up, because you could pass other people. So that's your tour of the lighthouse.